Hey, what's up, Sick Days listeners? Thank you for tuning in to another grand slam of an episode. We actually have two regular mic arms on this one. It's me with my friend Ryan, Young Beex, and I'm really happy to show this one. This is one of the more interesting episodes where we kind of get into a deeper conversation about life, and I'm excited to show the new equipment. It's awesome. I just want to say thank you. The shirts are coming soon. I'm sorry it's taking so long, and shouts out to whoever subscribed to the premium subscription. I appreciate you. That dollar goes towards newer equipment. I eventually want to have four arms and four mics, just have big old setups, and it's gonna be awesome. So if you subscribe to that, thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I hope you enjoy this episode. Peace. Hey, I'm not feeling too good today. I'm not gonna be able to come in. I'm gonna have to use a sick day. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Well, hey Ryan. Hey man. How you doing?
Fucking amazing, man. You already know, bruh.
Welcome to the show, guys. It's your boy, Top Tier Dad, and this is an
The
interview.
Young Beex.
Young Beex interviewing
You
my
already
friend
know.
Ryan. He's been my friend for how long? When did we first meet? Do you think?
Bruh, we've been friends since we were like 14, 13.
14, 13, so like freshman year?
Yeah, like even like in the junior high type shit, we were getting connected.
Barely,
Sure.
huh?
Yeah, we were
You
getting locked in, but we had mutual networks.
you went to CK Price with me, right? Or were you in the continuation school by then?
Nah, not yet. That happens sophomore,
Here,
junior year,
tilt the
something
mic a
like
little
that.
bit more towards you.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry. There you go. There you go. That was
Yeah,
good. Okay, that's perfect. Sick. Is it staying there? Yeah, you're gonna
I
have to
got
adjust
it.
that.
I already
If I have
got
to,
the same fucking
don't worry.
mechanism
I'll
on my
edit that
one at
later
home.
if I have to. I ain't tripping about it. But I wanted to interview because you are a person who's lived a really interesting life, and you always have so much wisdom after each experience you lived through. And I just wanted to know if you want to let people know what your story is.
Oh, well, I mean, shit, we all go through stuff really. If you think about it, like my problems are not even as big. Like the world's problems is much bigger. Like honestly, and if you really think about this shit, we all have problems as well. And there's these big problems that are bigger than us, and then everyone else also has problems too and shit. So I don't really think my problems are like, nothing. Like I don't feel like I had it especially bad, so to speak.
Uh huh.
I guess so. At least just to say that, but I know that people have had it worse. At least
Yeah.
I grew up in like government housing and all that shit, but like none of that shit really defines me. It is part of my story. It is what made me who I am today. So I guess still in a way, even in my own life, I'm working on the process of claiming that and making that a strength and like not seeing that as like a bad thing. But you know, hey man, fuck it. I'm here. I'm here today. I'm amazing, I feel great. I got a amazing life. Uh Beautiful wife at home. Love
Let's
my
go.
life. So,
I just think it's really interesting that we both are around the same age. We're both 28, right?
yeah.
And we took very different life paths. And the
We
one
still
thing
got
we,
everything in the
yeah,
world to talk about, bro.
yeah,
Like,
no,
I mean,
no,
this shit could be damn near 3 hours,
you're
We just
good.
warming up, guys. Like, after a certain point, this is just going to be like, me and Carlos been knowing each other, and it's just going to go skip straight to the deepest shit
Yeah.
ever. Like, it's going to skip all the shit.
No,
Like,
it's cool because like one big thing we for sure still have in like we have a lot of things in common, obviously, like video
yeah.
games, music taste, all that stuff. But
Yeah, yeah.
one big thing
pretty
that
much.
we really have in common is we
We
both.
used to sync our iPods to the same
Yeah,
iTunes library.
yeah. You were the first person to show me Modest Mouse. Like I knew who Modest Mouse was only through Float On and through like Rock Band 2 or like Guitar Hero. a world tour,
Sure,
I think, and you're
sure.
like, "Hey, have you listened to this?" I'm
This
like,
guy on a
"No,
whole
but I'll try
internet
it."
game showed me
Yeah,
that
dude. Oh
shit.
my, you know what story I tell people
There
all the
was like
time?
a cult and shit too. It was crazy.
You know what story I tell all the time to people?
What?
I remember in it was either freshman or sophomore year in high school where you were talking to me about the deep web and you were talking to me about Bitcoin and how it's used to hire
Probably
hitmen.
because I played this online game that was free to play, and this guy recruited me into their guild in it or whatever, and it had a website and that
Yeah,
had a forum,
yeah.
and then I stopped playing that game, and then I was more with them, and then they got me on this whole, they put me onto this whole other side of the universe, bruh.
It was crazy because you told me, "Hey Carlos, you got to look at this stuff. It's fucking insane." And you told me, I don't know if you remember telling me, you told me to buy some Bitcoin because it was like 50 cents to a dollar.
Yeah,
Like
I
Bitcoin
know.
was 50 cents per Bitcoin
I asked my mom to buy me
and she never bought
some.
you some, right? I remember
I
you
don't
told me to
remember
buy
what
some.
it
You
was.
were
It
like,
was so
dude, just
long
buy like
ago.
$20
I
worth.
no,
It'll blow up one
I
day.
asked her to get some, and I think it was just kind of like we don't got money for some shit
Yeah,
like
I didn't
that,
have money
and it
either.
kind of made sense at the
Yeah,
time. Like you
dude, but
really can't
imagine.
blame her for like. It's not really like I'm not trying to put that on my mom, like right, because for real, like I know that I suggested people have told me I suggested to them to buy Bitcoin at that time, and
Dude, you did. I wish I
I'm
bought
pretty sure
$20
I
worth.
said something.
You told me, like, hey, Carlos, we should use it to buy something. Because I think after you told your mom and she said no, you asked me, and I was
Yeah,
like, dude, I don't
probably.
have
That
money.
sounds right.
I don't have money. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm broke. Like,
Bitcoin would have been smart.
dude, I get so upset because if I had paid $20 in
Should have went
Bitcoin,
there instead of Burger King one day or
we went to
something.
Burger King most likely. We would
And
watch
I
Slenderman
would. I
videos.
don't eat that anymore. But
That's
like,
good for
oh my
you.
god,
I try
like
not to eat it, but I end up.
no, I
I
get that.
indulge.
I'd be fucking struggling sometimes. Like sometimes I'd be on my shit and I'm eating great and I'm like eating hella greens and smoothies and shit. My body's feeling good. I'm eating stuff with living cells. I'm feeling good. And then sometimes I'm just like back on that process or just or especially it's fucked up if you broke and you can't get no produce, bro.
That's the
Oh
hardest
my
part, man.
god, bro. That should be so annoying if you're not working at that time or whatever, man.
I'm
I be
definitely.
that's the situations I be trying to stay out of.
I definitely have fallen into that bubble where it's like, fuck, what
It
do I
happens
choose?
sometimes though.
One
It
thing
be real
though,
out here, man. I mean,
bananas are always pretty cheap from what I've noticed, but you can't live off bananas. And even then, those bananas, like a lot of the, even a lot of the
bananas
healthy
kind of
foods,
high in sugar actually.
yeah, even all the healthy foods are
I
still
found
pretty
out
bad.
there's a lot of zoos that don't feed the monkeys bananas
Mm-hmm.
because the bananas have so much sugar it'll make their monkeys
Spike.
glycemic.
Yeah,
It'll make them
yeah. You
diabetic.
know, it's
You know
funny.
what
My
I mean?
sister would tell me that too. It's like, stop eating all those fruits. It's not good for you. And I was like, fuck you, the fruits. Like, what are you talking about? It's like, no, they'll spike your blood sugar. And I was like, oh, okay.
But they
Now I
not
get
giving
it.
monkeys bananas no more. What's going
I
on?
mean, it might be the GMO bananas. They could still give them plantains. I assume. Have you seen a plantain? Do you know what a plantain is?
Yeah, the green
The
banana.
green,
Yeah,
lame-looking
and they
bananas,
like sometimes
and
they
they have
like kind
seeds.
of flatter in a
Yeah, I
way.
imagine those are probably healthier because I'm bananas derived from plantains. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they're modified from it. I mean, I'll double check.
Man, you know what's good, man? Anybody listen to this? Get you some lion's mane mushrooms. Those things are amazing for you.
I heard. I have a friend. His name is Ken. Shout out to the homie Ken. He's working at Enlo. Eventually, he's gonna be on the podcast too. But
Swag.
he got me on to the idea of lion's mane mushrooms and different mushroom types. Like I haven't tried any of them. I know
Hey,
lion's mane's not
man.
a psychedelic, but he told me the benefits for lion's mane is like superior to anything else.
Man, they came
I
up with
want to try
that
it.
adaptogens word or whatever. I mean, there may be some truth to it all, you know?
Okay, do
And
bananas come from
but
plantains?
for
Never mind, I was a liar. No, bananas and plantains aren't the same. Bananas are commonly used in North. Well, I know that. Well, they're from the same species, but I don't know where bananas come from. I fucking lied. I just know they're modified, and eventually bananas are gonna go extinct. That's all I know. I watched a documentary, and it was telling me how bananas
I'd be
eventually
pretty upset,
will be
bro.
messed up.
Those they basically make my smoothie. I'd be pretty upset.
They use bananas for a lot of stuff, dude. All that
I at least
potassium.
need bananas for that. Like I regularly use them for my smoothie because my smoothie is like not gonna taste. I'm gonna taste all that protein powder and shit
Yeah.
I put in there if the banana doesn't
Do
hide
you
it
use
all.
vegetables protein
I
powder?
use kale.
Kale?
I put just real raw leaves of kale in
Mm-hmm.
there, and I put a bunch of berries in there,
Uh-huh.
and then I put a plant milk, and then I got this like mass gainer powder.
Yeah.
I be
Mass gainer's
putting that
hard,
shit
dude.
got like 750 calories
Yeah,
a
when I
shake.
used to
I'm
work
trying to
out
get
and I tried to gain weight, it was so
I'm
difficult to
trying to
try
get
to like
fucking sturdy.
use mass gainer. My routine was like eat 4 eggs with cheese and bread in the morning, and then take my mass gainer, and then for
Out
lunch
your
have a bunch of
mind.
rice and chicken, then take some more mass gainer, not gas gainer, and then after that I'd make a dinner, and at the end of the night I think I would have more mass gainer. I forgot how much I would take, but I would not gain weight. All I would do was get like an upset stomach. I don't know if I did it right. I probably fucked up, but it's hard to be healthy. And like once you start looking
Dude,
at really healthy food
I mean,
options,
bro, like to be honest, everyone's got this different idea of healthy, and some
yeah.
people's ideas are so different. You're like,
Yeah, when
what the
someone looks
fuck?
at me and they see my diet, they would say I'm pretty freaking healthy. I rarely eat junk food.
You seem very healthy. I think
I
we
I
both
drink a
seem
lot
pretty
water.
healthy.
Yeah,
Like,
I have regular exercise through my job.
yeah.
Sometimes I see people's diets and I don't comment on them at all because I know you're allowed to have what you want. I would eat chicken sandwiches 2 3 times a day because that's all I could afford at one
I
point.
mean, by all means, do whatever you want to
Yeah.
do. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life because then you're not going to want to be around me.
Mhm.
So I'm just going to be cool with whatever anybody wants to do. But I will hope that at least you feel clear in your body and you're living your life the way you want to. Like, if your food's affecting you so much that you're not able to live your life the way you'd rather live it, then maybe something could happen. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's if you
Mhm.
want to. Even if it is affecting you and you just don't give a fuck. I mean, that's still your
You
right.
can live how you want.
It's not my right to come and intervene on that, you know.
Exactly.
So it's like you know, I'm available if
Yeah.
somebody want to go run at the track,
Yeah.
tap in.
It's I try so hard not to be an asshole about things because like
I just let people do what they gonna do and just
I
know I'm here.
it took me a long time to learn that, and I still fight the urge. For
It's
me,
hard to not to lecture, not because like once you get older and you're like, damn, like I really learned hard lessons. Like
yeah,
I'm
and you
trying
want to
to
tell
tell you,
people,
I'm really trying to tell you though. Like I'm trying to tell you though, I'm trying to save you what could maybe be years of pain and
yeah,
suffering in your future
and then you
because
learn,
you don't know,
yeah,
you know. And but. Um,
you can't,
why
you
should they
can't
think
tell them.
I'm
They're not, yeah,
right? Like
exactly.
what?
They're
You
not
know?
gonna, they're not gonna know until they find out on their own.
Who gives a fuck? Like
Yeah,
at the same time, it's like people gonna live off what they're gonna live off. Everybody's got their system, bro, and it's like it's rare when you could say something to somebody
yeah,
that shakes their whole system, and they're
yeah.
like, it's like an earthquaking moment, and they're like, I'm ready to change my life, bro.
What I've noticed it works is when they see your fortitude of denying candy or saying no to shitty food. Like if my coworkers are eating something that's not too healthy, I indulge now. I don't give a shit. But before I'd be like, no, I'm good, and I would suffer. I'd make myself suffer for those 2 hours of
Yeah,
not
yeah,
eating a donut,
yeah.
and eventually I had to give in. But one time, a coworker saw how healthy I was being, and they decided to make a little more effort to be healthy themselves without a lecture. So like monkey see, monkey do, basically. But it's so much
Yeah,
suffering. In the beginning, you
yeah.
suffer so much to like be healthy, and
Yeah, yeah, you
sometimes it
do.
feels like people don't
Cause
want you to win.
you're like this is a no to myself, and I'm
Yeah,
firm on it with myself, and then everyone else is giving themselves yeses, and you're just
it's
like,
a discipline.
and you'll start to give yourself a yes, bro.
It's a discipline. It slips.
You'll start to liquefy to your environment, and you'll start to
It's
your
so hard.
environment imprints on you and shit. But here's the thing, man. Fucking, you know, live free, do you?
Do whatever you want. I'm not
I
gonna tell
mean,
you what to
I'm not
do.
here to tell you how to live, and
Only
I'm
thing I
not
have to
going
say
to
is
tell you that.
accept your
I'm gonna
consequences.
tell you to go stream Kill Beaks 4
Ooh,
out
yeah, that's
now
right.
on all platforms. I'm gonna
So
tell you to roll yourself up a joint, put it on fire, preferably in a vehicle that looks cool.
legally, you're not allowed to smoke and drive. I'm just letting you know that. Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to. discretion. I know. You know
I
what's
mean, here's
funny?
the thing.
Oh
I
my
mean,
god! You
in
know what's funny?
reality, you
Everyone
probably
who
right,
smokes
but
weed drives,
I
and there's
drive
no
when I.
shame to it. I get it. I
Look,
don't care. I don't understand people can. They handle their
I don't want to
tolerance.
say I do that all the time, but I've done bit man.
I'm gonna make the
I
weed
might have
smokers
been that
mad right now.
motherfucker slamming 90, chief in the pin
I'm
with
gonna
currency
I'm gonna make the
on
weed smokers
100,
mad on this one. I'm just
blasting
I'm
out the
just upset
SUV.
that it's okay to smoke, get really really high and drive and assume there's no safety issue, but as soon as I have one beer, my keys are locked. I get it
Oh
though.
no, you right, you right, you right, you right, you right. Yeah, I don't fucking play
I
with
get
that
it.
shit.
I
I
get it.
wouldn't.
I don't drink and drive. It's
I
illegal. I have a
I ain't
daughter,
finna fucking drive on
but I'm just
booze.
saying.
I ain't finna drive on no psychedelics. I ain't finna drive on no fucking powders, pills, potions, whatever the fuck you got, player. I do sometimes. I have been known to smoke and drive in the past,
I get it.
but
A nice cruise after taking the hit of the Benjamin and just on an empty
I'm
road,
going
enjoying the
non-emissions, bruh.
sunset,
So I don't even
seeing the
smoke and roll.
visuals. I get it. I'd have a friend drive me if I took an edible. I'd have them drive me, and I would just look at the sunset and stuff like that, and not have to assume any safeguards for myself because they're sober
Mm-hmm.
and they know how to drive.
Well, that's fair enough. I feel like with the edibles, sometimes they border on psychedelic
They hit
themselves. I
me so
mean,
hard, dude.
one time I took way too many edibles and I was sleeping on my grandma's couch because I was homeless otherwise.
Uh huh.
And, dude, so I'm sleeping on her couch and I took way too many edibles and her fucking old school clock goes,
Uh huh.
I'm like, bro, and it's just going and I'm high as fuck, like out of my mind on these, and the clock's just going. And like, then I start feeling like really deep feelings of dread because of the
No,
clock and shit. I'm like, no, this is not the vibe. I ended up getting it and putting it in the oven.
dude. I was. You put the clock in the oven.
I put the clock in
Oh
the
my.
oven.
Did you turn on the oven or did you
No,
just
no, no, no,
okay?
no, no. I couldn't hear it in there. So
Oh,
that was enough.
dude, that doesn't work for me. Like if that happened to me and I was really freaking high and I put the clock in the oven, I would probably in my head still hear the
Here's the thing.
because it stays stuck in my
When
head.
you're too high, bro, when you're too high and you get the hallway effect or
Yeah.
whatever, where you're gonna trip into like the whatever the like
Mm-hmm.
paranoia or anxiety, whatever
Mm-hmm.
negative feeling you might be feeling, and it wants to amplify. I feel like my way out of that is just to sit there.
That doesn't help me.
I just breathe it out, like, bruh. I cannot tell you how many times I've been just. I took too much psychedelics trying to make some art that's far out and trippy and fire, and
How
like
often did you
I
take a
go too
psychedelic?
far, like,
How often do you take psychedelics?
and I end up scared too sometimes. But
Do you hit break point?
there's definitely this point where like the level of consciousness is like it. I'm scaring myself with
Mm-hmm.
what's, dude. It's crazy, but like at the same time, there's some strength in that. So I
Yeah.
don't know. It's
I
an
do,
interesting dynamic. I'm still
dude,
sort of picking
I
apart.
want to try psychedelics so bad, and I know I'm gonna go through a bad trip just because I keep saying it. But I feel like I have to go through that bad trip.
Look,
But I also don't want to get a
look. I wouldn't want to
schizophrenic break.
put that on you.
See, I do it to
But
myself. I put it on me already. Like I should probably just take it and enjoy it and just enjoy the journey because I know there's fucking trip takers who know like
wait. But here's the thing. Okay, if you're on psychedelics and you're flow stating, you might get lost in the state
okay, what's flow
itself.
state? Pause.
Like flow state,
What's flow state?
like when something's coming together or you're creating something, like for example, like once you're actually doing the dishes and it starts feeling like they're doing themselves,
Yeah.
that's flow state,
Huh.
right? Like when you're doing a job and you've done it 1,000 times, and on that 1,000th time it's almost like just a muscle memory, like, and it's just flow state. Like it's almost like nothing is disturbing the state of order. Like you're in superior flow. And so that's like where you're gonna channel the highest amount of spiritual energy, bro. You're gonna get your chi out right there,
While
bro.
doing the dishes.
You know what I mean? In your flow state, whatever it is for you, right?
Okay, but it has to be a positive thing. or does it? Because I could consider
Well,
doing
I don't
dishes
know.
like
I was just saying I would
driving would
consider
be
psychedelics in the flow state to be quite pleasant, but a lot of the time I think just the magnitude of the trip and the overwhelming confrontation and presence of energy is
mm-hmm.
like genuinely earth shattering and shocking and genuinely kind of like, and so for me it always is this like great like I'm really like in a like dungeon or something and challenging myself and stuff, but like I'm not recommending that to the world. I'm
Yeah,
just saying that this is my
that's
experience.
your experience with
I
that.
don't even know why, but I tend to think I get a lot out of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I get like uh, just that level of consciousness where it's like it's like I'm willing to do what it takes to become what I want to be.
Yeah.
I'm willing to like I'm a 100% dedicate my life to my purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give it my whole entire soul. And you know what I mean? And it's like it's my truth. So cuz for a long time I'm always like, well, if I do this then what about this? If I do this then what about the opposite? And I'm always trying to split myself between every path in life. And I'm like I'm always seeing the other way I could go, the other way I could go. And then there's this truth of myself that's like if I didn't fulfill it, it would break my heart. It would break my heart.
I totally
It would
understand that.
I would be if my life ended without fulfilling it, I would be crying, dude. Like, you know what I mean? And it's
I
just
do know
like
what you mean.
and so that's different, you know?
There's
So
been
it's like
multiple times where
I'm usually trying to sell myself on a path. Then there's this one where it's like I don't even want to breathe if I don't get this right. You
mm-hmm,
know what I mean? Like,
mm-hmm.
and so it's just like, man, when it's like that, we in boot camp. I just think in the reality is God's boot camp. I'm just like, bro, fuck this shit. Like, I'm just gonna do whatever I gotta do, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Did this realization come from taking psychedelics for you?
it came from taking psychedelics and having near death experiences, and then having experiences with the universe around me that presented me with like just I don't know. It's almost like as time goes on, you realize your whole entire life that time is just a song the universe is kind of singing to you, and you start to see the melody as you see the years like develop,
It's pretty wicked.
and you can start to see the whole piece once you've uncovered like the first third. You know the intro now. You know, let's develop the song.
That's sick.
So you know, it's like
So like the psychedelics and then the near death experiences. So you've had multiple of those.
I have a lot. I have a lot of psychedelic. I have hundreds of psychedelic experiences. I have
How about near death?
many near-death experiences.
What's you don't have to say if you don't want to, but what's probably the
lots
more
of them
pivotal one?
mixed.
Like what's the most pivotal one? I've been there for no, I wasn't there for one of them.
The most pivotal one.
I thought I was there for one of them. Can I say one?
Um,
Can I say one I
guess.
remember? And if you don't like it, I'll edit it out.
You remember it? Okay,
Well,
sure. I didn't know you were with me on a near-death experience.
I
for
wasn't
sure.
with you, but I
If this is
remember it.
edited out, I'm sorry. I'm a pussy. All right.
Okay, remember it? Delete. It's just one big beep. I don't think this. I don't know if this was a near-death experience for you, but remember in high school when we had sex ed, and I think you took an edible or you took some form of drug,
Oh
and you had a
no, I
seizure.
didn't take any drug. The
Okay,
truth
what
is
was that?
that
What happened?
the truth is that I just blacked out.
Can we hear the story? Can you?
I just blacked out. I don't know what happened. I had to get brain scans at UC Davis and all this shit. They thought I had a brain tumor or something. Like, you know,
That's so funny.
something was going on.
That's so funny. We had that class together. Do you remember
Yeah,
that?
during
Yeah.
the Miracle of Life video,
Yeah.
I black out it, bruh. And
Was it the video that did it?
let's keep it 50, bro. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it a buck. I pissed myself, bro. My ass fell on the floor, blacked out. They said I had a seizure. I don't believe them.
Okay,
That's
so that's what I heard. I wasn't there.
Cap.
That was the one day I didn't go to school, and
I think it was just my lifestyle. I think
what did you do?
I
From
had
playing
a
video games
really
and staying up?
I had an incredibly American diet. I did nothing but play video games and sit in one spot
Uh-huh.
on the boomerang gamer chair that rocks.
Yeah, yeah. The old
And
dude,
motherfucker,
those
I
things
was
were not
dying.
comfy.
I was dying in that bitch.
That's so
I
funny
needed a
because
goddamn carrot.
the rumor I heard was you passed
I don't
out
know
while
what
the
happened.
child was being birthed and you had a seizure and you pissed your pants and then your family thought you were on some sort of crazy LSD drug. And I believe the LSD part because like yeah, that sounds like something Ryan would do.
No, I didn't.
I don't even remember if I
I
asked
actually
you
wasn't
about it.
getting into much trouble at
You
that
only
point. I
smoke
mean,
weed every
I
once in
was
a while,
about to
right?
smoke some weed for the
Yeah.
first time, but I was really kind of not like that.
Yeah.
Not yet.
So that
But I
wasn't
was
the
real
start of
young.
your journey to psychedelics.
I mean, the real start of my journey into psychedelics was uh, when I lived with my homie Matthias and Juice,
Mm-hmm.
and we would experiment and shit a lot. But I'd be making music and shit too, and I was really applying it towards the craft as well. And at the time, I thought I needed to do something like that, which I didn't, and there was really no reason for
Is that
that.
during the time when you made that one song? I'm gonna say a verse that you said that I also repeat to a lot of people, and I use you as a reference to reference you. Um,
Which one is it?
this is when you were young B with the B word. Do you want me
Yeah.
to say the old name or do you want me to dead name it?
No, I don't give a shit.
Okay, young
I don't give
bitch.
a fuck. I'm
You,
Young
you
Beex.
so okay, let
I'm
me give you some
Beats.
backstory.
I'm YB.
Ryan
I'm
makes
that
rap
motherfucker,
music.
dog.
Yeah, he makes rap music, right? Would you say you're in that
There's
genre?
no one else like me.
Okay, you would say that genre though,
What?
rap music. So I give the right genre name.
I'd call it like experimental hip hop, or
Okay,
like trap, or like I don't even know, like even nowadays maybe even more conscious, bro. Like
true.
bro, there's a little bit of some conscious elements to it, and whatever. Like it's not like self. I hope it's not self righteously conscious. I hope it's just conscious in a way that
That's a good way to look
provides
at it.
light for
I
the
feel
listener.
lots of people who make conscious rap, they see themselves as some sort of god.
That's the
There's a
thing.
narcissistic
You're not
complex like
conscious
you.
if your egolessness makes you better than everyone else.
Uh huh.
You're
That in
not
itself, it's an
conscious
ego.
or egoless.
That's an ego, right? Once you think
Yeah,
your egolessness is better
yeah,
than everyone else's, that's your ego talking.
yeah,
Like it's so crazy how the ego
yeah.
just immediately takes people right back in, right when they think like
Yeah,
they
right
give
when
them
they
some
think they're out.
falsehood of
Yeah.
like being open brain. I have to check myself all the time. Like I know I'm not without an ego. I have an
Uh,
ego, and I
well,
fight my
a
ego
good
daily,
metaphor for
dude.
it is it feels like the second you found out it was a lie, it's one step away, just to
Hmm.
dismiss it forever. But the truth is, you get it off like somebody gets off like a straitjacket, like Houdini or something. You
Yeah,
know? You get
yeah,
it's real tough,
dude. It's hard. It's like you peel back a layer, and then you think that layer is gone, and then there's another layer, and then there's another layer, and the ego never really goes away. The layers just get thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner. It's like an infinite layer of ego, and I personally don't believe, at least me, I'll never reach an egoless state because I have too many labels that I put on myself in various forms. Like I'll always be a father.
Well,
I'll
we're
always
all
be a
naked
husband.
before God. We all are without ego. We're without everything before God itself, bro. Because when when you face to face with the truth of reality
Hmm.
itself, the truth that even provides you the cells you use that you call you, when you find out the truth of it all, it's like, bro, that's that's like God don't even want to see you until you in this insane state
Yeah,
where you're so magnified.
yeah.
He's like, get to the point, bro. You know what I mean?
Uh
Like
huh.
that's why we can't go see God as a man. Like you know what I mean? Once we become a spirit and they can do God knows what, you know, they're gonna see us as our truest truth.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. I have a lot of different thoughts about all that shit. I got scattered thoughts, so
It's
I
hard.
won't act
It's hard
like
to reel them
whatever the
in.
fuck I just
Honestly,
says.
when I'm really, really high, it goes like two ways. Either I start thinking about aliens and I'm like, the moon, fuck, it's fake. And I start seeing, I hate being high around other people. Like, I love being high by myself, barely. But when I'm with other people, I fucking hate it because I start seeing all the social cues in
Mm.
people. and I start seeing underlying themes in people's interactions. And maybe
Mm-hmm.
it's just me being fucking high, but I start seeing people who have little tiny arguments within their conversation, and
I mean, here's the thing:
you
the
start
the way
seeing,
I hear what you're saying, and the way that I would put that is, I feel like, you know, like I just want to feel like relief is the number one goal.
yeah,
Like you need to feel relief. Like
yeah,
obviously you going chase, and there's that most important, highest
mm-hmm,
aim. But relief should be the number one goal, because in that pursuit you're gonna wear yourself to
yeah,
no end. So relief also has to be number one, because you're gonna wear. The harder you chase your dreams, the harder you have to rest.
yeah,
Legitimately, like,
yeah, dude.
and it's like it's a delicate balance. I struggle with it myself sometimes.
It's
But
hard.
yeah.
I've thought of giving up on everything multiple times, like especially this last coming year. I got hit with so much stupid bad luck that, well, not bad luck, just misfortune. Not even misfortune,
But
just like,
think about this though. Think about this though. The only thing that is baggage is that what you is what you choose to continue to be willing to carry.
that's true. I,
And things will happen that like are like not what you want to happen. And don't get me wrong.
mm-hmm,
Like it's just to pack it as lightly as you can in this life, because you already have to carry so much. Why don't pack extra bags,
yeah,
right? You know what I
that
mean?
makes
The
sense.
optional
You don't want that
bags.
baggage.
Optional bags. Like
And I,
you want to be able to say, all right, well, maybe today was a bad day, but now that I'm home, I don't want to be in a bad mood here,
mm-hmm,
because I want to feel good today.
yeah,
Because it's like, if I had a bad day, that's even more of a reason to try and turn it around.
yeah.
Some people let that decide the day.
Some people do. Some people have one bad thing happen to them and it spirals them out of control into this whole chasm of just like negative
Bro,
interactions with the world.
but I'm coming from a position where I got bosses hating on me at work.
Mm-hmm.
I got ex cops and ex military dudes hating on me at work. I'm a fucking rapper trying to get my money out of security,
Yeah.
unarmed. I don't do any such shit. I don't arrest nobody. I don't do no dumb
Hell yeah.
shit. I don't do any of that police shit. But I got these ex motherfuckers over here fucking giving me all this shit. And then I go home and I make a fucking song, bro. Because that's the best thing that I can do.
That's a good outlet.
You know what I mean? That's the best thing that I can do. I go back to my real life, who I really am. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This shit is just like, bro, like, you got to find some way to fit into this fucking puzzle that is just horrible. It's so horrible.
All the pieces are
like,
fucked up.
I mean, here's the thing though. That's just how it feels when you don't occupy a unique space that's built for you.
Mm-hmm.
When you're occupying these generic spaces that are these fit-alls, these societal, just whoever stumbles into the position is you.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah, cookie
open-ended.
cutter.
There's no plan for you.
Yeah.
And there's no concern for how you feel about anything. And so and then there's no legacy either.
Where do you think that all stems from? I guess. Well, that's a fucking stupid question, but
It
like the whole cookie
stems
cutter situation for people, like how society has built itself to make people mold
other
into those
people
pieces.
making other people foot bills.
Foot bills?
Foot the bill.
Oh, fit the bill.
On life.
Okay.
Foot the bill. Other people making other people foot the life bill. Like
Dissect that for me. Okay,
like
so I'm lost.
so
at
so
foot the
think
bill.
about this. Think about this. The richest guy
Yes.
is able to have any and all things around him.
True.
Because there's some and the person breaking the sweat off their back is not necessarily seeing those spoils.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
The bill of this rich person's life goes to the poor man. The
Like
poor man's
time?
paying the rich guy's bills as
Yeah.
far as paying all that goes.
Yeah.
So
I guess that makes sense.
like revolution or what?
Money.
Like, you
money
know what
and
I
power,
mean?
baby.
Like, what are we doing? Like, so it's just like, it's like, you know what I mean?
Can you blame them though? Like, what would you, like?
They're gonna sell the earth from under your feet.
That's true.
They're gonna sell the earth from under your feet, and they're gonna fucking alchemize all the fucking nutrients into fucking metallic alloys. God only fucking knows. All right, I don't mean to sound like I'm spinning down some rabbit hole when I say that. I'm just saying it.
I believe. Okay, so I have like the
Don't let
same.
this shit get out of hand.
Okay, so
Sorry,
I honestly have the same concept
moderately.
of that. Like, I know there's like huge conspiracy theories about a bunch of shit, right? But I genuinely believe that it's probably some really rich folk realized how to make the most money, and the easiest way to make money is by siphoning through other people's
It's just
labor.
for everything to make
Yeah,
everybody else to make the shit you need, and
yeah,
then
dude. And
just
I
to
get the
be the guy who
idea.
decides you get it.
I watched. I don't know what fucking TikTok I saw, but that this video I saw, and my sister's really fucking. She has some wisdom that she needs to apply to her
I'm
own
not
life.
super knowledgeable on this stuff, although I don't. I'm not
She
huge
dropped
on the system.
she dropped some
I
gems.
try to
Like
be
she dropped
educated,
some
but
gems on me. So like I do Instacarts, right? And one day I did an Instacart for like $20, and I was like, idiots! They gave me $20 to go get their groceries. Like I'm in my bag, and she's like, dude, you're only worth $20 to them. They don't have time to watch. They would rather have their time and spend that $20 than go get groceries. And I don't know if that makes sense, but in my head, I'm like, oh, that's right. Their time is worth more than their money,
yeah,
and they can afford their biggest asset is their time now, right? So money is secondary to their time, which is
yeah,
like
yeah.
unachievable for a lot of fucking people. And in my head, I was like, damn, they really just spent $20. They don't know what they're doing with their money. But my sister helped me realize, like, no, they have enough money where they can allocate those extra funds to make more time for their life
Yeah,
and
they
how
can
their
live
heart's
their. They
ticking.
can actually live their
They can
life,
actually
right?
live their
Oh
life.
shit! Let me
Oh,
touch
don't worry
this.
about that.
My
But
bad.
it's I realize that's what I want to achieve that now. And I know I could probably be like, well, I don't have to work. I can just have my time. But I want to be able to achieve
Look, I'm not
the
hating.
sense.
I'm not hating. I'm at all. I mean, like,
Well,
get your bag, like, all day, like,
I'm not hating either.
you
I'm
know what?
just like I get it. That
No,
really
yeah,
rich person understands they probably their focus is their time and they're willing to save their time no matter what the cost is to anyone else.
yeah, yeah. It is, it's like that's the thing about it. You have to. Sometimes in this life, you have to do like summon things out of yourself you never thought you would have to,
Mm-hmm.
and
It's so weird
and
because
you end up becoming this version of yourself that's so much greater than anything you ever
yeah,
expected, but with so much bigger of flaws than you ever expected,
dude,
right?
the more you know
So
about yourself, the more you realize that's wrong about
yeah,
yourself. Like, well, that's wrong, but like things you could fix, right? A lot of times, self reflection is a thing that I like to dwell in.
I'm a big soul cleaner.
You're a
I'm a
soul.
big soul cleaner. I like to clean my
Define
soul,
that
and
for me.
I like to bask in just that inner divine moonlight,
Mm-hmm.
that meditative space, that emptiness of just okay, like it's like just falling into emptiness and then just allowing the space and the clearness and emptiness around me to be as it is and
Yeah.
be it, and just allow the sounds around me to do whatever they're gonna do, all that shit, and just you know let my soul recharge and kind of just bask in like an empty um gaze into the truth. Almost it's like I feel empty, but truly in my deepest mind's eye, I'm sorting through the deepest matters of truth that I know how to sort through. But
Sorry.
by all physical appearances, I'm just sitting and just kind of like maybe like staring over off on at a baseboard or
Yeah.
something, maybe holding my weed pen hella high. But I'm like I'm considering about as deep as I can whatever's important to me at that moment.
It's
And
hard.
I bask in that a lot. And I think that a lot of people like like could really benefit
Oh, for
from
sure.
um
I think maybe a lot of people just get caught up on their life.
self
And
connection. Because here's the thing that difficult situations do and
mm-hmm.
resilient grants you, it grants you an increased sense of trust with yourself. And when I say trust with yourself, I don't mean like I told you you were gonna work out in the morning. Now 4 weeks later you're not doing it or whatever. Like I mean trust with yourself. Like you like if you go out there and let's say you go run 5 marathons and bring home medals, um, you gonna know this new self that you didn't know before that whole process. And there's all this stuff that you never proved to yourself you could do, and all this stuff that you never proved to yourself, like or you never got to doing. And so like just doing those things makes you trust yourself in this intrinsic way where that fits like a glove,
Mm-hmm.
like doing things in the world. I'm willing to go further and further out and feel more secure in doing more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's actually this deep level of trust where it's like, oh, I'm willing to take a couple further uneasy steps and see what's up and learn more. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. No, I completely get you. I in the process of learning to trust myself and my capabilities, it usually comes from challenges that come my way. Um, Specifically, like when I bring this up a lot, but this is probably one of the more pivotal moments in my life where I've dealt with my like personal mental struggle. A lot of times I've been able to bounce back from any mental struggle I've had, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But when I had to close down my skate shop, that's probably one of the hardest hits
Oh yeah,
ever I've
dude.
ever had in my life. That's like one of the biggest lows that I've ever felt. And
But
even
the wisdom you gain from that's about to be
yeah, it's
crazy.
great, but like that was one of the
You got superhero level knowledge out of that, bro, in
it's good.
business.
And but it comes with a price, right? Like
Yeah, I mean, you're paying the price of that entire
yeah,
failure, but I mean, you're
you
getting
learn.
all that
You learn.
experience and
I
all
had
that, bro.
to
And anybody who thinks that's not worth everything that happened and everything that went down, bro, are you crazy? Like, that's that's what's gonna make you millions in the end.
yeah,
That's a small bill to pay to
to
really
bounce back and get higher.
to really like once you're neutral and all this shit's done and over with and all the everything from that settled, the dust settles, man.
Yeah, it does
You're gonna
settle.
be this wise ass, like, you know what I mean,
It's crazy
businessman,
because
like.
no matter how many times people tell you, like, there's probably someone listening that's going through a really hard time, and us saying it'll be okay might not even mean anything to them because when you're in that tunnel, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like when you're in
Yeah,
that weird tunnel, it just feels like you're lost and you can't get back, but you
bro.
make it through that tunnel and somehow you stay resilient. And I'm not gonna lie, there are people who fall through that tunnel and never come out, and it sucks.
Bro,
But they're
here's something that has to be said, that bro, if you're going through something, then we don't blame you for nothing that happens, man.
yeah,
Like at the end of the day, man, there's some of us out here, and I've been here, so I know what
mm-hmm,
this is like, where every wall in your life feels like another thing that is making you unhappy. It's not that it has the controls to your mood or whatever. Like
mm-hmm,
it's literally just like you're looking for anything that resembles the things that you call good, that
yeah,
you like. You know what I mean? And we all have those things we're grateful for. We don't take them for granted, but at work it may be less than ideal. You know what I mean? These
yeah,
things
yeah,
happen. Like and 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 you go to work and you feel like, oh my God, like what like here I am for this thousandth day, and it still feels like nothing. It's still just I just still feel numb,
yeah,
you know. And you just like, am I even like? You start to feel like like you're not even real, or like you're breathing, and it's like, is my breath even real? Like
dude, I hate it
not
when I get into a
not like
realization mode.
not like truly like, you
Yeah, yeah,
know,
yeah,
you're
yeah,
real,
yeah,
but you know what I mean,
yeah.
like.
No, dude, you get
It's just that
so
weird feeling like you like no one can hear you, like you're a ghost, like you're pounding against a window and screaming, but like nobody looks and they can't
yeah,
hear you. You know, it's like, bro, and it's like, and then it'd be ignorant people in positions of power ensuring that
dude.
everyone stays very sick.
Yeah, okay.
You
So see,
know,
that goes back to
and they stay there for fucking
the really
ever,
wealthy people. They
and then
get
they sell the whole city, and then they
yeah,
pimp out the nature.
they really get the idea that keeping someone in a position where they're constantly guessing and worrying about getting out of their situation, it's a favor. It works in favor to them, right? Because not everyone can be rich, not
Yeah.
everyone can be so wealthy to the point where they can buy their time back by unload. They'd have to unload it to another person, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no other way unless we do get like this whole AI system set up where
Yeah.
robots are the only ones and everyone can just pay robots life credits or some shit to do all their bidding. But it's like the
Here's the thing:
system.
AI will never be able to do all your bidding though, because AI is not, as an agent, is not you. You're the agent. So
You're telling me, dude, just wait till they put
like,
AI in sex dolls.
I mean, it's cool. It can try and look as human like of patterns as it wants to try and look like, and as human like of anything as it wants to
Mm,
try. But it won't ever be human though,
that's
and
true.
that's what all due love to the AI overlords. I love them. I for one welcome them. Um,
You're covering your
if
bases right
somehow
now.
we can mix them with nature, I say we can turn this into a super awesome
AI
situation.
trees.
If it can just be way smarter than us at saving our environment, if it can be way smarter than us at integrating technology and the architectural presence of humans even existing,
Yeah.
integrating it so nature isn't so devastated by that. Like, if it can just be smarter than us in all those ways, I don't think I mind. But it's definitely not gonna make a song the way I make a song.
Yeah.
It might make a song, but it's
Yeah.
not gonna make it how I make a song
Yeah.
or how Chief Keef make a song. Like, it's not gonna do it. Like,
I have friends who really hate AI. Like I have some friends who hate AI, especially for the art aspect. And
I'm
um,
a pretty open guy.
I mean, I get it. I completely
Hard for me
get
to
it.
hate
But like what
something.
you
I
said,
gotta
it
really
won't be
have a reason.
human. But there is a lot of good uses for AI. Like how we were talking about the AI system that completely like fixes your audio for stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, that's
Yeah.
revolutionary.
Yeah.
They just
Denoising,
and okay, one of the coolest
real
fucking things
time
ever.
denoising
Not enough people are
AIs,
talking
and
about it. One
yeah.
of the new Samsung phones, they revealed their live translation from text to
I have an
audio.
AI chip. I got the Pixel.
Dude, do you have the live?
mm,
Okay, I don't know if it's out on every phone. I didn't read
I
too
have
much
the
into it.
thing where if you call me, I can send you to an AI assistant, and they'll ask what you're calling about, and then it'll tell me in a text, and then I can still choose to field your call or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
you know. So it sends me a note.
They have a thing now where you could talk to the AI, right? And it will transcribe and translate to the language you want it to and put that out as audio. So we have live translators now,
Hmm.
which is fucking sick, right? This is some shit we would watch in cartoons and be like, there's no way that's going to be built
But
ever.
what they gotta do is they gotta put it in something like
Well, they'll input
they
whatever
gotta do.
language. It's limited to whatever language we have available. As long as we have every single fucking language on the internet, that AI will do just fine. Because there's so many voices in every single language that English to Spanish is going to be no problem. Because
It
those are
probably already
extremely.
exists, but I'm picturing something like the size of a box of Tic Tacs that can you can just like hold it up to
Dude,
anybody
well,
speaking any language, and then it'll
eventually
convert it
they'll
to you out of speaker.
what I was thinking is eventually they'll have an app on your Apple Watch
Oh
that you
yeah,
could just
yeah,
use. So like you could just do that, right? They're gonna make AI can work on fucking everything so far. So who's to say next year? I guarantee you we'll have a watch if it's
yeah.
not already out yet. That's like, oh,
We
let
could
me
have
use my
been
Apple Translator, and it'll be
right.
like, hola, senor, and be like, hey, brother, and
But
it'll
it'll
work
be happening as the guy's
as the
talking at
guy's
the same
talking, and you
time.
have
Yeah.
your Apple AirPods in, and it'll fucking translate no problem.
Even if it noise cancels the language you don't understand
Yeah,
and
dude,
only gives it the
it'll
way
be able
you
to do it. Like
understand.
the AI thing you showed me that took a
Yeah.
fucking fan out of someone's audio and made it clear.
Yeah.
They're gonna be fucking able to do that in
Yeah.
maybe maximum 5 years, maximum. I
But
feel
here's the
like.
thing, I just don't really care. Like,
I think that's the coolest shit ever.
it's still just like I'm on this journey in
It's unreal.
life, and I got what I got to do in this
Yeah,
life, and what I got to accomplish in that. Like,
yeah.
and all AI is gonna do is assist in that, but
That
like,
being,
it's never gonna have even a human journey. And so I'm
well,
not
what makes you think
trying
you
to
can't
prove
program an
it'll
AI
never
to
be
have a human
human.
journey? I'm not being pro AI, but like I'm saying, what? How can we not assume that someone's gonna program an AI to take a pilgrimage from where it's at to the first AI home base? If that made sense.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
Okay, so a human journey, right? I'm just an example. A human journey is it can be anything. A fucking human journey can be internal, it can be external. But who's to say some guy is not going to program an AI to be like, hey, find your original source of coding that you were built upon. Let's say 100 years from now, and that AI makes a journey to find like, hey, the first source of code that I'm based off of because I've been updated a fucking billion
Oh,
times
right,
now.
right.
It goes through its lineage
And then
and
it
figures out
simulates us as a byproduct.
something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
but wouldn't that count as a journey for that thing? I mean, it wouldn't be a human journey, obviously, but like that would be
I guess.
if it learned something about itself and it came back with more knowledge.
If it can identically, here's the thing: if it can identically simulate a human experience, then I guess technically it is having a human experience. But also, another thing is that human experiences aren't super specific. Like,
They're
like,
broad.
they're very broad. Like I'm in your house right now,
It's
but
true.
when I leave, like they'll next week you can probably ask me about certain details. I won't remember what it says on those balloons, or I won't, I won't be
Yeah.
able to, there's
He's looking at my
certain
Christmas
details I
tree.
won't remember.
Yeah.
A human experience is very general. And when you start to think about how computational models save processing power, which
Yeah.
is by generalizing things,
Yeah.
such as NVIDIA DLSS, like
Yeah.
it uses an AI to upscale and downscale your resolution in game dynamically so that if there's a super intensive section, you keep your frames
Oh, that's
dynamically
sick.
because it dynamically scales it with an AI.
It stabilizes the whole thing.
Exactly, stabilize it no matter what assets are
That's
coming onto
fucking
the
sick.
screen. And if you think about it, if an AI was to simulate reality, it would probably do something similar in reality. Like it would like that's why our experience would be broad or whatever. So maybe the fact that our experience is the way it is the hallmark of a simulated experience. Like the hallmarks of it being simulated could be things we take as every day. So, we wouldn't know anything. We would never know what's going on.
Okay, well, I think that proves the. No, that doesn't prove my point, but
I mean,
it kind of gives us perspective to my point.
well, I mean, it definitely. I mean,
I'm not trying
that's
to win.
more
I'm
information
not
if
trying
you're
to win.
looking into the simulation.
Yeah, it's simulation theory.
And as it relates to AI and all that stuff, and I get that this is a hot topic. I'm just saying, I feel like the world should give a. This is the time where we should give the most fuck about human journeys.
Yeah.
Because, like, think about it. Like, if you're that person who's suffering in life and you're screaming and you feel like no one can hear you and you're drowning in this job that doesn't listen to you, respect you, care about how you feel, it's got someone in a position of power that doesn't care if you're actively miserable.
Yeah.
You know, do you feel like us focusing on things like AI gives them hope? That's what I'm saying. Like,
okay,
I just
I
don't
get it.
think it's human. Like, it's not part of the club.
I think
like,
I'm just looking at the positive aspects that it can deliver us. Like,
I'm not saying that about what you're saying. I'm
No,
just
no, no,
saying
in
in
general, in
general.
the human general. No,
like,
I get you.
You look at every podcast in
Yeah.
the world. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
everyone's talking
I'm
about
just saying, like, I just mean as a species.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, that just means it's probably something that's. I mean, how many times have we talked about the new iPhone? I'm not saying us because I don't think
Yeah,
we
right.
ever, but like as
I have
humans,
Android.
and it's no problem if you talk about the new iPhone. I get it.
I don't care. I'll talk about it all day. It's just
It's like there are better things to pay attention to than whatever the robots are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's just there's more like there's people who need us.
Yeah.
And the robots are themselves
they're
without
not gonna
us.
need us. They don't need
They're
us. They'll
without
be just
us.
fine.
They'll be a tool to us whether we care about them or not.
Yeah.
These people need us to care about them.
Yeah.
Stop looking at that. Start looking at that.
That makes sense. We should care about
you know what
the
I mean?
children starving.
And it's just and I mean that literally on a societal impact level. I literally mean like the way we focus on things. We really got to think about the way we give our attention.
Yeah.
The way we focus on things.
Dude.
Because what we focus on is eventually what we wrap ourselves around.
Yes.
Just like focusing on my dreams made me much more great in all ways. Focusing on like the darkest sides of life made me destroy myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What you focus on, and so we got to think about what we want to focus on here.
Dude, one of the things I pay attention to a lot is that my daughter is going to grow up in such an odd world, but I have heart and hope that my interactions with her, my loving, just human, real interactions with her will surpass any internet interaction she has. Because that seems to be like the biggest issue with kids growing up, right? It's the internet. I don't know. For us, it's like mild, but it gets more severe as the generation goes forward. Because it's one of the biggest things that's consumed.
It's very unsupervised.
It's very unsupervised, even for everyone, even for adults, everyone. It's unsupervised. But I've really do believe me having those outside world
Yeah.
interactions with my daughter will win will help her win more situations than not in the digital world.
And
Because
I
one
mean,
day she's gonna be like, "Oh shit, my that's what dad told me. The internet's just stupid.
I feel
It's
like
worthless."
the future can also just trip
Yeah, it could.
trip
It
out
could.
in general. I do think when it comes to that, I think it's like in the future, when think about the future, maybe, to be fair, you also have to think about the solidity of her protective network.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
time, you
Like
know
you
what I
never
mean?
know where I don't know
So
where her mind's gonna
so
be in 10
as
years.
crazy as the world may be, you're nested healthily in
Yeah.
a group, a good sector of great people,
Yeah.
good people. You know what I mean? So you're safe, you're secure. You have people around you who
Yeah.
are protective enamel. An insulating network.
Yeah.
So it's
Unless
like
AI can become a physical object that protects my daughter, I don't
that'd be
see.
cool
It would be
too.
really
I
cool.
mean, there's
If
so many good uses to this stuff.
yeah, if do you think eventually we'll all have? I mean, you've seen Her, right?
The movie
The movie.
where he falls in love with the AI. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think we'll have like a physical version of that?
People falling in love with things that
Well,
are
I
real.
mean, not.
Well,
Well,
I
yeah,
mean,
that's gonna happen. It already happens right now.
yeah,
People
yeah, yeah,
virtually
yeah.
fuck.
Well,
But like, I'm
obviously
talking about
something
like
that just
if we have a virtual AI in the
is at your convenience.
yeah, if we have an AI in the home, like a physical robot that's not gonna kill us and just protects the home like a dog.
Um.
Do you think eventually we'll have that? Like some fucking guy runs up to
Uh.
your home, but he also has his AI robot, and he just like chokes him out because it's like, hey, dude, you're an intruder.
I think when it comes to
Or only rich people.
I think
probably
when it
have them.
comes to like guessing the future, humans are really bad with looking the wrong place isms.
Yeah.
Like because we look in the future and we think we're gonna have jetpacks or whatever that are
We
just,
do.
are
We have
flying
them now.
cars.
Though. We have them now. Though.
But you know what I mean? It came about in a different way than we
Yeah,
expected.
it took a lot longer.
Right, and it's different than we expected.
Yeah.
And we have that a little bit about that kind of stuff, and like we're not able to quite put our fingers on the details. And as far as putting our fingers on the details goes, I don't know if it's possible to know the future, dude.
That's true.
But
That's true. It's all
you
speculation.
can get to know there is knowledge and
There
there
is
is
a-
patterns.
I was about to say,
I'm
there's
just
a
gonna
fucking
say.
pattern. And so far, everything I've seen in a cartoon has been made within a span of like 10 to 15 years at a time. So one thing, remember VR was like something that was like unachievable. And now it's 6 or 7 different companies make their own VR headsets.
Yeah, but
It's not the best, but it's getting there. And self-driving cars, it's getting there. They're not going to float. I don't think we'll achieve floating cars. I don't think we'll get there. Only because of the hazards they bring. That's the only reason why I think we wouldn't do it. But maybe we'll have so much landfill that we'll have to resort to floating cities and floating cars. I know it's all speculation, but if we continue in the patterns we are of making landfills and just producing trash, we'd have to go to the sky.
Well,
unless we press it all to the ground.
And I'll have to at least say that
That's just
as
my
that relates to your original point,
Yeah.
which was the oh, hold on, wait, what were we talking about?
Dude, I'm so tired.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I've
We're
been
doing
so
this way
tired.
at the end of the day,
Yeah,
guys.
I'm so exhausted. I had to like walk for like 4 hours straight at work.
Damn.
Well, not all at the same time, but collectively, I have 3 students today that I supported, and they all really wanted to walk around. One wanted to walk around the campus, and the other one wanted to walk like at the mall and like 5 different other stores, and they're each 2-hour blocks.
By the way, you were talking about AIs being robots in our houses.
Yes,
that's what you were talking about, and I was gonna say as that point relates to that one, I was talking about we thought flying cars were going to be different than they were going to be. I think it could be a potential wrong
It'll
placeism.
be something, but not the way I thought it would be.
Not the way you think it is.
Yeah.
There's no way you'll think the way it is.
That makes sense.
Really going to be. You won't think of the way it's really going to be.
That makes sense.
And because we never think of the way it's really going to be,
we have no clue. We have no. It could all just fall. It could all just fall apart.
Freaking dark. Bro.
That makes sense.
So, dude, apply yourself the best you can, the best way you know how, and pad your chances the best you can, because you don't even know what kind of dice you're rolling every day. You don't even freaking know, dude. So you better bet if you can weight that dice in your favor, do it. So that
Dude,
means do
okay.
whatever gives you an advantage.
Let me stray away from the AI for a second. Well, maybe the rest of the fucking episode, because I'll probably end up talking about it again in another episode as I hear
AI is
more
very
updates.
no. We
Yeah,
definitely we'll dip in and out of that for
but
sure.
talking about weighing
I
the
like the
dice in your
topic, by the way.
favor.
I didn't mean to
No, you're
dismiss the
good.
topic
No,
when I
I
was
know
like
it's a good.
attacking it as a societal topic.
Yeah.
I didn't mean don't talk about it.
Oh, dude, I don't care. Like it's
I mean, you know that, but
yes,
I'm just saying, like, I enjoyed talking about it here.
yeah.
I'm just saying that the
You're not
way
gonna
we,
you're not gonna go to a Save Mart and start arguing with some dude about fucking AI,
right,
doing your
right,
groceries while you're beat at the
and
checkout.
and I think like 500 million people could worry about poverty instead of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
dude, you could. Brazil's not doing so well. The Middle East is not doing so well. There's plenty of parts of India and China and the
there's
United
plenty of
States.
people who need
They
love
need
out
help.
here, bro.
AI should figure out how to stop inflation.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
surprised it hasn't been able to do that
we
yet.
just get caught in identifications and commerces and shit, and we
Yeah.
don't really see the fact that it's people who need love. We're either saying yes or we're saying no.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't give a fuck if you have the longest list in the world of 100,000 reasons to say no.
Yeah.
They're struggling,
Mm-hmm.
bro. When
And you're
you
talking
see,
about,
when you know what true suffering is,
and you're not talking
it's
about
like
a specific group of
it's
people,
like
right?
it's like a melody that sings in your
Yeah.
heart. When you see someone in pain, bro, like you like want to cry, bro. You want to go wrap yourself around them and go carry them somewhere warm and safe and put a blanket on them, throw them in a shower. Like, bro, like when you really know what suffering is in this life, you will never scoff at it again.
And you're
You
talking about
just
like
won't.
humans in general, right? Okay.
Like you won't be able to say no to someone in need. Like
Yeah.
it will be very difficult once you really know what pain is. It's just, and that's just the truth. Like
And I
because
feel like
it's
that's
like
something you gotta
your heart
experience too.
resonates. It sings a
Yeah.
song with theirs. You can see their pain and you remember your pain, and they hum together, and you're like, oh my god, like I gotta do something for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
And that brings me back to the point like how we lived completely different lifestyles, but we still have that same value of just loving people.
I think that that's probably what made our friend group come together.
Mm-hmm.
Like now that I think about it, when I look back, like I wasn't like even think about like shout out to my boy Adrian. You already know what's up, my
Reynosa?
boy Adrian. Yes, sir,
Yeah, dude, I love that
Adrian.
guy.
Like
I'm
I
gonna
was
have to
gonna
drive down to San Diego and put him
he
on.
really was like in the sports teams and shit, but he was the only one who came and hung out with us.
Yeah.
But then as far as it was concerned with me, all those other guys kind of would probably just make fun of me if we did talk. Not that we talked,
Yeah.
but then Adrian would come fuck with me and be
Yeah,
like,
dude, he's
like
such
he'd
a
laugh,
solid guy.
he'd be a sweet guy. He'd be like like a dope like personality and an open mind.
He has one of the
And-
most contagious laughs
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
fucking world,
exactly.
dude. I wish
Well-
I could show everyone his laugh right now. Adrian, if you're listening to this, I know you probably listened to one episode because he likes to post about the episode.
Well, we love
so,
you.
yeah, I love you, bro, and I hope you listen to this part. And I'm
You
gonna
know
have to
we love
drive
you.
all the way
Come
down
on. Yeah, dude.
south to say hi to you and record an episode or something because you've given me such funny fucking stories. And
You were my perfect example here too. I'm just
I'm
saying.
not gonna put it on blast. I'm not gonna say things I've learned from him, but it's just really funny. He's such
You were
a
there
cool
when
guy.
I first smoked weed, dog. Love you, bro.
He's so cool.
You were chosen one, bro. I love you, man.
He's fucking hype.
And
He's doing well too.
He's a perfect
has a
case for me
career.
to use when to say that when we made our friend group, I feel
Mhm.
like that was the unifying theme.
Mhm.
Like I didn't pick the friends who were like we give each other shit. We'll make fun of each other and say ungodly like insults to
Yeah.
each other that were disgusting. But then like if one of us ever was genuinely hurt or
Yeah.
upset about something one of the other said, or even something in our own lives, everyone would be like, "Oh, dude, like
My
they'd be
bad.
kind of be like, "Hey, dude, are you all right?" Or like, "Oh shit, did I really bug you when I said that? My bad, dude." You know,
Yeah.
like we really cared.
Yeah.
Whereas, like obviously, all the people that I might have hung out with younger, or different people I might have tried to hang out with,
Mhm.
they were more like, they were less sensitive, and they were more like, And I guess, I mean, in high school and junior high and shit, I guess, like, I didn't see it as the gift it was, but I mean, like,
I mean, you never
I
realize.
didn't
those
even really
things.
know that was happening.
Yeah.
But, I mean, naturally, I fucked with the people who were cool,
Yeah.
who appreciate, the unifying theme was that, we like dope shit and we're not assholes like all these other fucking assholes, huh?
That's
You
true.
know,
You
it
know what's
was
really
like
funny?
that.
What
It
I
was
get,
like that though.
one thing I get a lot,
They were
and
mean as
I,
fuck, dog. And then they called me gay for wearing skinny jeans, and then Lil Wayne wore them, and they all wore them.
but it's okay to be gay.
I wore skinny jeans, and they called me the F word, the slur. They
Yeah,
called
yeah,
me
yeah.
all that stuff, and then Lil Wayne wore them, and then all of a sudden they wear
Yeah, skate culture did a lot.
them. And shout out to Lil Wayne, you're my fucking hero.
It's weird
Dead
because like
ass.
I've
Dead
had
ass.
people, I've had interactions with people after high school that I haven't seen in a really long time, and they were always positive interactions because they would tell me that I was always a chill person to talk to, even though we had nothing in common. And I'm not trying to say that as a form of like blast, like of
Mhm.
hyping myself up. I'm saying as a form of like you said, we weren't assholes. So even
Yeah.
people who were assholes
It was almost
have
like
talked to me after high
at the same
school.
time they had no interest,
They had
and
no
then at the
interest.
same time they were also mean.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
I was like, both of these suck.
yeah. And that was their outlet. That's the only outlet they had. You
Was
know,
just kicking at
being an
me because
asshole.
I'm sick as fuck.
But
I'm pin,
it's just
big
weird.
pin,
Even
man.
those people who were jerks in high school, they ended up noticing who was not an asshole. And a lot of times, people grow out of it and they realize their issues that they made. Sometimes people don't, and they double down on their assholery. Like
I
they
mean,
become
all
double
those people
assholes.
probably had sides we didn't know that.
They,
And
they probably
they
had
were
harsh
perfectly
lives.
deep people. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
We
They have
don't
their reasons for being
fucking
assholes.
really
Yeah.
know. You know, they could have been
You
anything.
could have looked like their dad or something, and then they're just like, "Oh, I
There's
fucking
a
hate
lot
this
of
guy."
American syndromes
Yeah,
and things to go through. Very American problems.
yeah.
And
Do you really
you
think
know
that stems
what?
only into America?
I fuck with him though, cause you know what? Adrian would come chill with us, but he'd chill with them. So what am I supposed to think?
Yeah,
Adrian just chill with these. You know, they're probably cool too.
dude.
He'd probably be
He would
like,
hang out with
dude,
the
the
soccer
dudes
team a
on the
lot, huh?
soccer team were sick.
Yeah, you
And
know what's,
I'm just like, well, I don't play soccer, and I just lock myself in my room and play.
you really learn that there's no status after high school.
right.
With
And when
people.
you in the halls and people make fun of each other, they not thinking deep about it.
Yeah,
Not how me, the one in the position of being made fun of, is thinking about
Yeah,
it. I'm like, ooh,
fuck these
it's
people.
like fuck this shit.
One of the funniest. Well, I guess it's not funny. I hope he realized who he is. He might have already. I haven't paid attention. But there's this soccer guy, this dude on the soccer team, that when I got out of high school, he worked at Burger King. And if anyone,
This is tea, bro.
this is super cheap, but I forgot his name, so it doesn't even like matter. Unless someone who worked at Burger King is listening to this episode, then they'll be like, "Oh shit!"
Look, man,
They
we
know the
sorry.
secrets.
We not trying to talk shit on nobody. I
But
promise.
it's really
I
funny,
ain't
like
even
how
like that.
status and like the labels you were put on really defined you in high school, and they were just gone
Yeah,
after high school.
it's all a bunch of bullshit. We
Yeah.
all know.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
This
like, it's
dude,
all, like,
he would always have a really hot girlfriend and stuff like that. And he worked at Burger King when I worked at Burger King, and he'd always be like a manly style dude, right? Tall,
oh yeah.
athletic, and always have like a hot girl. And one of my friends who's gay, he revealed to me that they would hit it on the side, like he would be top a lot.
Damn.
And
See, it goes down like that.
it's
It
really
goes down like
funny.
that.
And now I see all the signs. He was over
Play it,
masculine.
just come out and do what you gonna do. Play.
He moved to
Nobody give a
Mexico.
fuck no
He
more.
has a wife in Mexico. I'm not, and this is only because I saw this on Instagram. He has a wife in Mexico, and he's hardcore, like religious.
Okay.
And it's that classic
as
staple.
long as that's not fueling any delusions or nothing, you solid.
I
King.
just think it's hilarious that he doubled down on his anti feelings of who he is, and decided to mask that. But I really hope he reveals to himself who he is and loves himself enough
well,
to open
if he
his
found
world
God
up.
in truth, then he's lit. But some people find
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm
it's
hoping,
like a delusion.
I'm hoping he's not
reinforcement
religious because he's like, I
machine.
can't be gay. It's a sin. God showed me the way. Is what I'm
yeah,
saying.
Right,
Because that happens
right,
all
that
the
shit.
time. That classic staple of like, I'm not
Right.
gay. It's a sin. God saved me. I have a beautiful wife and all that stuff. But in reality, they are just internalizing their self hate and they never come out. And so I really hope he's not self-loathing.
No, you do whatever the fuck you want to do, guys.
Yeah.
Do whatever the fuck you want to do. And you know what? That guy, if you're listening, bro,
I doubt
let's
he
go
is.
get some. Let's go.
If he is, he's
Let's go
sweating
get-
right now. If he, there's like the
Motherfucker, pull up. Let's
2%
get some
chance.
pizza. We're assholes. We're the assholes. Tell us what's up. What's going on?
Yeah.
Let's do it. We'll do you on the next one. I'll come. I'll be the co-host. All right, we'll come
We'll let it
interview
all out.
you.
You
We
can come
not
out.
even hating. We are open door.
That being said, anyone who wants to come out on the podcast, so be it. Like, let's do it.
Look,
We'll have a
request me
full
as a
episode.
co-host, man. Hey, if you're gonna have an episode, tell Carlos you want me, or else I ain't coming. All right, that's all I'm saying. You want me to pull up? You gonna have to tell Carlos.
We're a podcast about just coming out, but the hosts don't come out. It's just the
No.
guests.
Hey man, I'm gonna be charging so much money for this later. You might as well get the free,
Get it now.
get the free shit, man. I'm telling you. Hit
Oh
up
my
Carlos,
God.
man. He's my agent for this shit.
Hey, don't think I didn't notice you dodged my question, dude.
What question?
What was your most pivotal near-death experience?
Oh, my most pivotal near-death experience.
If you want to talk about it.
That would be when, well, my therapist says it developed into complex post-traumatic stress disorder.
Mm-hmm. CPTSD.
Which I'm choosing to treat with medication-free, but choosing to treat.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to overcome all that. But anyways, here's how it went down. So,
this isn't going to cause, like, traumatic, like...
This was, I mean, there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot in my life to unpack. Like, for example, there's so much. I mean, there's just so much. When I was a kid, my dad's, like, a skinhead. He'd been in prison my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the prison turned him into that. My mom didn't get with him when he was like that. Like, she cool. Like, like, prison made them all, tricked them out, made them all like that.
Yeah.
And, I don't stand by. I'm not defending him. But you know, it's just a lot of shit. And you know, I wouldn't see him for hella years. And then I'm 9, and my mom get with him for a week, and I'm watching fucking Phantom Menace in the fucking living room on VHS, bruh.
Keep talking.
And
Just ignore what I'm doing, okay?
He comes out there and he takes the VHS tape out and he puts some fucked up shit, like prison tape footage of like race violence and shit.
Jesus.
And it's, I won't go into too detail. I don't want to affect this being able to be uploaded in certain places, but just safe to say he showed me some raunchy, bloody, like honestly, like brainwashing shit. And it made me, it didn't work. It didn't work at all, by the way.
I'm glad it didn't work.
So don't get any ideas, because that shit didn't work. Yeah, I mean, look at me. It did not work. I guess it worked in a way. It made me like more activist, but more in my activist bag. But you know, just seeing that fucked me up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then like, I mean, when I was 5, I got left at a babysitter, and they left a bag of cocaine on the table, and I had gotten into it and blew the whole bag. I ate it all, and I thought it was sugar.
I totally forgot about that.
And I was on the ambulance, and my mom told me I thought I was on a school bus going on a school trip, but they were really like, I was in an ambulance, and they're like, not knowing if I'm finna survive this coke overdose.
That's so fucking insane.
And I just didn't know. So
did they ever give you well, I guess
by the way, those are just the prerequisite stories to tell the story.
Oh, so this is a new, okay.
This is just background.
All right.
This is just background. Here's some free lore, if you care.
Cute. Yeah, no, I love the lore.
Just some lore for the, maybe one person one day will like my music enough to go discover everything about me. They'll find this.
I'm like, oh shit, he did a Sick Days episode. Yeah. I love these two things, and they met together. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Don't you love it when that happens? When you have like two separate things and then they collaborate and you're like, oh, this is the shit.
This could be, who knows, man? This could be a fixture in Chico one day. You never know what's what.
What I want to get it to the goal of like someone.
We could do these live on stage at Senator.
That's what I'm saying. I want to get it. Oh, by the way, free advertisement. I am drinking my Sierra Nevada crispy little thing.
Yeah, Chico.
At Sierra Nevada, Chico, California.
Chico, Sierra Nevada, Sierra Nevada.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to do that as much as possible. So eventually, if I get popular, if God allows it, someone at Sierra Nevada listens and they're like, oh shit.
Hey, I was a security guard for your Chico site, and then I applied to be your security director. Y'all should have gave me that,
You should give Ryan the job.
but it's okay.
But I'm hoping they'll be like, oh yeah, let's hop on this podcast trend
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then like we're gonna make the sick haze.
I love you guys.
Shouts out Sierra Nevada, my
The
favorite drink,
job
the
was
only drink.
the best job ever,
Hell yeah.
by the way.
But yeah, you snorted a bunch of cocaine on accident
Yeah,
at
I
5
did a
years
bunch
old.
of blew a bag.
Yeah.
I blow a bag today. I don't do nothing for kids. Yeah, I blew the bag, man. I blew the bag, man, and I thought I was on a field trip. Honestly, sounds lit. I probably
So you
was
survived,
gigging,
obviously.
I was gigging, dog. No, but
And those were prerequisites to the main event.
yeah. Okay, so look, there's some background as to why I'm okay with how out of hand this next story got. So that's just to give you the background. My therapist says I got CPTSD or whatever. Like, okay, whatever, TMI. But look, she says those events are included, and then it creates this like veil of trauma that normalizes traumatic level energies in your experiences. That like normal people would be like, oh fuck, why is my experience like that? But like for me, it's my normal.
Yeah, your threshold is a lot bigger.
And it's not like, it's like I still feel it. It feels as crazy as it would to anyone else, but I think things are supposed to feel that way sometimes because I don't, or whatever. Right? Like at that point, I hadn't questioned it yet or treated anything either.
Would you say it's kind of like the aura or like the?
Yeah, it's like a trauma
bubble
veil.
Yeah, that you. This is your
it's
experience.
Like a smoke bomb.
It's like something. This is supposed to happen almost like.
Yeah, it makes everything real hazy. Kind of like.
By Sierra Nevada.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Anyways. I'm not trying to sit here and dump all this shit on some people.
I'm listening, man.
I'm just saying that this is where my power comes from, so don't get it twisted.
That's
bro.
good. At least
I don't have no sad story that ends with boo me. Like I don't want a handout. I'm gonna be a legend, bro. And the truth is that I had to go through all this shit anyways, so that I could be like this crazy level of tapped in that I am now. I would never have been as tapped in now as I am without this aspect of myself. Because like, dude, by the end of the story, I'm on acid out in Upper Park, like, bro, like, I mean, I'm on hella mushrooms out in Upper Park, like, breathing hella hard, like holding this cross I have around my neck, like closing my eyes. Like the trip was so intense, and like I was facing so much shit, and my CPTSD was untreated, maxed out fear stat. Like, oh, bruh. This shit was a trip from hell times 10, and it lasted for like a year and a half. And I was homeless through the whole thing, and I had to get a job, and I had to go to this Taco Bell by the mall, but I lived by the train tracks downtown, and I would run on foot like 5 miles there and 5 miles back 5 days a week. And that's what started me getting into marathon running. And there was just this moment, bro, where, okay, let me start at the beginning of the story. So I was I had just moved from Arizona back home. And I had this job that I ended up leaving in my hometown after I got back, and my best friend Matthias picked me up, and he was like, fuck that job, bro, I'm gonna pay for you, I'm gonna pay for your crib, well actually you're gonna sleep in the spare bedroom in my house. And he's like, he's got a spare room. I'm like, fuck it, there's a whole bed in a bedroom here, and he just let me sleep here. I cannot stress this. That's my brother. That's like my best fucking friend, bro. Through all the fucked up shit. Like, and I went to go stay with him, and he ended up going home, and we ended up moving out of that house shortly thereafter. And there were some struggles there, but I won't speak on that too much. Like, I just really loved that guy, and I was fighting for that guy, and I really wanted to be a good energy and presence and a good impact in his life at that time. And I didn't know how successful I was being at that time. And But that didn't matter because we were best motherfucking friends. And so he moved back home to kind of get his shit straight and get right and get with his parents and shit. And like he always had his business straight anyways. Like
Yeah.
he always took care of his business anyways. But you know, he just wanted to make sure shit was lit. And he wanted to get a new car, like, you know, do it real big. And so he goes home, kicks it with his parents for a few months. And the plan was for him to move back and us to get a crib again. So it wasn't even long term. He was just gonna stack real quick, get a car, come back. And so what had happened was he gave me his car when he moved away, right? And I'm whipping that shit once he's gone. I mean, the day he left, if I had known that would have been the last time I saw him, I would have hugged him a little harder. I'm glad I hugged him real hard though. Told him I loved him and knew I wasn't gonna see him for a while the last time I saw him. But he left me that car right when he went back home, and I planned on giving it back to him when he got back, right? Even though he didn't plan on that, but I planned on it. And I was living out that bitch because I didn't have nowhere to go. And I was living with my grandma for a while, but I got on her nerves, rightly so. Bruh, her house wasn't big enough to fit me. I didn't even belong there. Like, trust me, I was tripping.
Yeah.
So I stopped staying there because I didn't really want to impose like that. So I was staying with the whip and shit, and so I pull up on Austin, right, to go stay the night at his house. I'm like, I'm gonna shower up. I'm gonna play some video games with the homie. I'm gonna use his stove. We lit. Like, all right, this is lit. So I go in to stay the night over here, right, and I kick it, everything goes as expected, blah, blah, blah. I go outside to go to my car to leave, and that motherfucker's gone, bro. It's gone. It's gone, right? So I go to look for the space my car is supposed to be in, and that be empty. It's empty. And I'm like, holy fuck, like, maybe it must be more down the street. It wasn't. Someone stole it. Eventually that realization sets in. And I had got off an international tour, and my homie's mom wrote a book, and he posted it on his story one day, and I just happened to order it to support his mom.
Yeah.
And it was one of the only things I brought in his house. So all my shit was in that car because I was living in it.
Yeah.
So this book was now one of the only things I possessed. And so I sat down on the curb where the car's supposed to be and started reading it. And it was this book called Being at Home. And it turns out his mom was made a refugee like 5 times. And like, it's this crazy story about how his mom, like, when she was a baby, her mom had to carry her across the river at night because the military was going to like execute them or imprison them. And she was made a refugee again. And they're crossing this river to get to this other country. And like, these guys are having to carry their suitcases and get their whole bodies wet and carry the kid and then they pull up to the next country and they just knock on a random old couple's door, and the old couple only lets them sleep on the welcome mat on the front door.
Jesus.
And the mom just falls asleep holding all her babies, and that's the first time she was made a refugee of the 5 times. And like in her story, bro, she had no choice. If she sits down and is like, oh man, my life fucking sucks, I'm a loser, like I'm fucked, I give up, like dead. That week, like so like I'm reading this book and I'm sitting there with my car going, and I'm like, bro, there obviously is no choice but to bounce back. I'm reading this boss bitch and I'm like, all right, let's get this shit, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's super awesome. That book is amazing. It's called Being at Home in the World. It is so good. It's by Letitia. Look that shit up. It is amazing.
Check it out.
So I read that book and she really inspired me, and I'm like, ain't no way I'm going to take this laying down. And that's when I started going on runs every day, and I started my running. And then eventually I got that job at Taco Bell. And so now I'm living on Austin's couch. I found a job within like 4 days. I was at the job. I did this shit. I had to work for hella long to get the money for the place. But they let me stay there because that's the homie, like the 3rd time he let me live with him. Like, you know, the notorious bum over here. Like, you already know, bruh. Shit. I'm just glad I have the amazing friends that I do. And that's when I turned my swag on, bro, because I was like, I'm not finna let this defeat me right now.
Yeah.
And I started running and running and running and running, and then I lost my best friend shortly after that. But then it bro, that shit changed my life. Like that shit totally changed me. Like
Mhm.
I didn't I didn't think it was like gonna happen. So I never really guessed it would change me because I didn't think about it. But that shit changed me for real, losing him. And so I'm telling the timeline kind of like I don't have a piece of paper right here. I don't have the timeline exact. This was a really like uh busy time in my life. Um, it's like it summoned this out of me where I knew that like I just had to go, and if I didn't go, if I didn't swim, I was gonna sink,
Yeah.
and I knew I had to keep going, and then like I discovered a lot of strength there because I'm also doing mushrooms and questioning the nature of my limitations, and so before long I'm running 20 miles, right, and I'm having all these like far out visions and all this stuff's going on that's like really prophetic in my perspective. Um, I wouldn't claim it's prophetic for anyone else's life because they weren't in the experience or myself, but um, I figured out how to make myself do what I gotta do.
Yeah.
It's almost like in that time in my life, like I could close my eyes in my mind's eye, and I could picture like what the world would be like without me, and like what my tombstone will look like and what it'll say, what I'd want it to say,
Yeah.
the life I'd want to have led, what it would look like, the type of thing I'd want to be left behind for a life like mine. And I'm like, well, what's that life gonna be, and what kind of imprint am I gonna leave? So what is that mark I'm gonna leave, right? And and to just discover like what my soul was founded on, like what my purpose is, like what I am willing to walk myself from here to the hospital bed about, you know, and I've had to find it because like nothing survives that situation. Like nothing frivolous survives that
Mhm.
level of survival. Like nothing, and I kept rapping,
Yeah, you were
and
still making
that's
music at the
and
time.
that really shocked me to be on like the like the front end cutting edge of like my new trauma, and like all this shit's going on, and I'm doing mushrooms and shit's crazy, and I'm getting jobs and friends are dying and cars are getting lost and all this shit, and I'm questioning the nature of my own mind and my own reality, and and for me to still be like, but most importantly, make sure you keep making those songs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And don't stop at all costs. Like doesn't matter. Like I would be out in the country by the cows, setting up my mic on the trunk of the car, rapping with cows mooing in the background and shit, using AI to take moos out, bro. I'm serious. Like, and and that shit just like that shit really revealed to me that this shit is more than it seems. Like I put my entire life into this shit, and I'm gonna do it for my entire life, and it's what like the reasons that I do it, the things that brought me to it are the most important things in my soul. Like they taught, like I wouldn't even be a good man without rappers like Kendrick Lamar, without rappers like Lofty 305, without rappers like uh um Nipsey. Without
Yeah.
rappers, like I wouldn't even be a good man. Like that's what's crazy. Like all the book learnings I ever got, all the depth psychiatry books I ever read, all the whatever, like Alan Watts, Sod Guru, everything going and all that stuff. It never taught me how to be a good man and how to love people correctly, how to respect people correctly, how to like organize myself so that I'm making the most out of this life and being all I can be while I can. You know what I mean? And I didn't have that guide from any other source. That was my singular source, bruh. So, and and I think maybe when I was young, having friends of different like financial situations also opened my eyes too. I think just I had a different experience of life that made me think about life fundamentally differently. That I just see that there's a whole bunch of need, and we've got to there's a whole lot of great we need.
Yeah.
We have a whole lot of needs, therefore there's a whole lot of greatness we
Yeah.
need.
Well, it's really beautiful to know that even with all the hardships you endured, that you still are a loving, caring human being.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's fucking awesome, dude.
And I'm savagely vicious about my ends
And it shows you,
as far as like providing for everyone that I
dude. Yeah,
love
you helped me a
making
lot,
ends meet.
and I appreciate
I
our
have my
friendship so
dreams.
much.
I have my dreams, man, my big dreams, bro. So I got to be big work.
I love
Big
it.
work.
I love it, man. And I thank you for sharing
Work plus time.
any story that you wanted to share with me. And you recently came out with a project,
Yeah, I did. It's called Kill Beaks 4.
Kill Beaks 4. And where's it at?
It's everywhere.
Everywhere?
It's
Spotify,
Spotify,
SoundCloud,
Apple.
YouTube,
Dude,
Dat Piff?
probably things I don't even know.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Well,
My girlfriend finds my shit places I don't even.
that's funny.
She finds music of mine that's
Pirate
so
Bay?
old I didn't even know was out, and I'm like,
That's sick.
no.
Well, I just want you to know that I love you. And
Yeah, I know you love me.
yeah, I know you love me. I like to say it.
Yeah,
I love
you
telling
too.
people I love
you
them.
too.
I
love
say
you
it all
too.
the time,
love you
and
too.
I appreciate you willing to tell pieces of your story and about pieces of yourself to whoever was listening, and it
Yeah.
was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
dude.
I'm a weirdo, bro. Like, if you want to know why I'm a weirdo, here you go. You know?
You're weird in a really
Uh,
good fucking way though,
yeah.
and you own it. You
I
own
got a
you
pure
own who you
heart,
are.
man. I'm pure in a way.
Yeah, you own who you are, and that's beautiful because not a lot of people
I
do
do
that.
own who I am. I'm flawed and all, but here's the thing, though. I have good intentions, and if I fuck up, I'm trying to get right.
Hell yeah.
I'm not trying to stay wrong.
Hell yeah, dude.
That's really important. So fuck the
Okay, man.
bullshit. I'm trying to get right. Like, let's go. Like, by the way, anybody wants to get this cardio regimen in, I'll be your coach. Tap in.
Hell yeah, dude. That's a good way to say goodbye to everyone. And do you want to let them know your Instagram handle?
Yeah, it's the Young Beex.
BEEX.
Yep.
Hell yeah, bro.
YUNG, bro. I got a link tree on there to all my music. I got a music video coming out with Lay God. That shit is called Cohiba. That shit is fire. I got this coming out with Carlos. You hearing it right now.
Hell yeah, baby.
I got Kill Beats 5. I got Mirror Volume 2. I got all Sundown Capacity Volume 2. I got all kinds of shit coming
I'll make
out.
sure to link your entire discography on here.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Yeah.
All right, brother.
Anyways, look.
Any
We're
last
probably
words?
going to do another one of these, right? I was just trying to get some background and some lore out there, guys. Hopefully you guys appreciated that.
Dude, I'm sure they did. I think this
I'm
is
sorry
the
if
longest
this
one.
was not what you expected from the episode. Thank you for listening.
This is probably the most serious one I've had.
Really?
Yes. Go listen to the other ones if you want to.
Look,
You don't
if
have
this
to.
wasn't the vibe, y'all, my bad.
I
I love y'all though for
honestly,
listening.
I think anyone who listens is open to whatever conversation I have with people. So far, the feedback I've gotten was they really appreciate how relatable everything has been and how honest everything has been. And I think that's a key to anything. But obviously, I love deep stories, and that's who I am. And having you on is for sure it's a wonderful one. And each time we have a conversation, it gets to that depth of like deepness. I don't know if you feel the same way, but that's how I feel when we talk. Yeah. We slowly dig our way into like a trench of conversation.
Yeah,
and it's fucking wonderful.
Yeah, that's my thing. Like I said, did I not say it in the beginning? I
yeah,
said,
yeah.
You'll see, past a point, we'll skip straight to the deepest possible shit that we can skip to, and we won't apologize.
Yeah.
We'll just go there.
Hell yeah.
Because it's what we are interested in.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I mean,
but all right.
Exploratory.
Well, thank you guys for listening. I appreciate you.
Slat.
Let's go. Sick Days podcast. All right, brother. Peace.
Deuces.